Hey everybody, welcome back. We're here in St Barts. Take 2 on the Britain Norman Islander here in Flight Sim 24. It came out an updated version a couple days ago, and they still had some things they had to work on. So hopefully that's been resolved. We got everything ready to go here. So my favorite airplane, probably arguably my favorite airplane in the sim. Let's go external power supply on. We'll go mixtures and props full forward. Master and battery switches on. Fuel pumps on. Fuel valves open. Mags coming on. Oh, I forgot. I gotta do this in this setup. Let's take a quick look outside. Make sure there's nobody out there to kill or maim. We are in the St Barts commuter livery today. And those of you who are in the know that St Barts commuter doesn't fly this aircraft anymore. Let's go toes on the brakes and we'll crack the throttles here. But it's a cool livery. It's one of the standard liveries that come with the plane. And so I figured we'd give it a go here today. And whoopsie. And we'll get the left engine going. One of the things you never want to hear from your pilot. Whoopsie. Alright, there's both engines going. We got oil pressure on both sides. That's good to know. Let's go fuel pumps off. Avionics master on. Bring the throttles back a little bit. Lean the mixtures for taxi. Nav and strobe lights coming on. And external power supply coming off. Toes are on the brakes. And release the parking brake. One of the things I noticed the other day. First of all, everybody's going to want to know, I am running DLSS quality, which is not what I normally run, but it runs so well now that is what I'm running. It just looks fantastic. DLSS 4 all set up, obviously. Frame gen mod is running, so you're going to see probably some artifacting out the windows here. But this should be a fun flight. So I was talking to my buddy Wayne, who flies Islanders down here yesterday, and yeah, this is the airworthy design scenery for St Barts. This is not the stock scenery for St Barts. But it looks gorgeous. I don't think it's 2024 specific, updated for 2024, but it works just fine. Alright, let's go. Oh, there's a bus. Okay, that makes some sense. And let me guess, it's gonna run me down. I mean, these bus drivers aren't exactly smooth in the sim either. I mean, this guy must have had a few, right? I mean, come on. Alright, mixtures and props full forward. Fuel pumps are on, flaps are set, and looks like a pretty stiff breeze up there, at least. And guarantee there's not a lot of semi trucks on St Barts, but hey, what are you gonna do? Well, there might be a few. Anyway, so I'm basically just want to do some performance testing, not necessarily like, kind of granular testing with the overlay and everything. I'll put the overlay up in a second. I just want to get this takeoff with a clean view. Alright, fuel pumps on, flaps are set, mixtures and props full forward. Looks like we got a little bit of a left crosswind here, so, and we'll go toes off the brakes. Takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is alive. Airplane's gonna start to lean here. We gotta beat out that yoke as we get to takeoff speed. And I can already tell you the plane is operating as it should. So the other day it was kind of flying a bit underpowered for what it should. And I can already tell you that is no longer a problem. This is how the Islanders should fly. Feeling pretty happy about this here today. We'll get one more screenshot. There we go. We're through our heading at 060. One of the things I noticed, look at the color of the water. I noticed this yesterday. The watercolor looks absolutely stunning in Flight Sim 24 right now. Bring the throttles back here. Undip the nose and put the flaps up here. I mean, this is a much more realistic watercolor. Even though you might look at it and say it's a little too blue, you have no idea how blue the water is in this part of the world. It's just unbelievable. Got a little bit of nose down trim in here. Let's get our fuel pumps off, check our fuel pressures. Don't need to have that much nose up trim. All right, so just a tiny bit of rudder trim in here. Always need about 2 clicks of that. And boy, oh boy, is this looking good. I mean, look at that water. And you can see how when it's in kind of the closer into the island, it's bluer, and it gets dark out in the, you know, get a little bit further away from the water, from the island. And that's absolutely realistic. And look at these localized showers. I am such a happy man. All right, the VFR corridor between, we're heading over to Grand Cass right now, and the VFR corridor between St Barts and Grand Cass goes up to 2,600 feet, which is the bottom of the Class Charlie airspace for Princess Juliana Airport. So we're gonna level it off at 2,000. I was too interested in looking out the window. Well, looking. I was too interested in the external view. I would have normally stopped at 1,500 feet, but let's get a little bit of nose down trim here. Trim this airplane out. Yeah, so this is performing how it should. So we have the Islander in Flight Sim 24, which is awesome. Gonna have to start fooling around with FSU IPC and try and get a little bit of a finer tuning for the trim in this sim, because it's just too difficult to trim. Trimming a real airplane takes 10 seconds. In the sim it takes 10 minutes, and it really never stops. I would like to point out a weather phenomenon to you. This is technically VFR, although I'm probably not 500 feet below the clouds. Might have actually a little bit too much juice to it. We're in the yellow arc at 23 squared. But in any event, this is basically the weather. I have a video on my channel of when I flew the Islander over to St Barts in real life from Anguilla, and this is almost exactly what it looked like. There's kind of this low haze. There's always like it's almost invariably at 1,800 feet ceilings in this area of the world. So this is like very realistic weather, and yeah, see we're at 23 squared. We're a little bit nose down, but we're up in the yellow arc now. So I mean, I'd almost say this is, so it went from a bit underpowered a couple days ago, the first 2024 release, to this release went from a bit underpowered to perhaps a bit overpowered. Should be about 125, 130 knots in level flight, indicated airspeed. Yeah, whatever. I should also be getting a ground speed indication over here, which I'm not. But that's alright. In any event, if you want to see what this looks like, what I'm talking about in terms of that weather, you can look at, just search my channel for St Barts, and you'll find the real flight And the weather looks very, very much like this. So I can bring up this again, DLSS quality of frame gen. So we're pegged at 60 FPS 60. That's my that is my monitor refresh rate, and GPU utilization and temps are great. CPU temps are nice and low. I would have been interested to see what developer mode would have to say about this whole business, just to give me an idea whether I'm CPU limited or not right now. But so you can see that. I mean, it's all, you know, all looking good. It's been a very smooth flight thus far. There's Grand Cass right there. This is a beautiful beach, but it's very, very windy and very kind of the shore is a little bit jumpy. It's, not the quietest beach in the world. I'll show you the most beautiful beach in St Martin right now. I'm going to Grand Cass here, even though my emotions dictate we go to Anguilla, but we'll just go to St Barts here, or St Martin, Grand Cass. So I'll show you the most beautiful beach on St Martin, and it's I tell you, we were there in September, and there was 2 people on the beach, 2. And I like during the regular part of the year, there's clearly more than that. You know, during like tourist season, but it's funny because this is, let me make sure both fuel pumps are on. It's the beach right in this cove here. I want to make sure we're not nosediving into the ground here. And I'll show you here in a second. Just want to get my heading indicator over here to my runway heading. It's that beach right there, and I forget what it's called, but that's also the first place that I ever set foot in the Caribbean. It was an overnight stay as we were going to Anguilla for the very first time in 2013. And from the moment I put my feet in the water, I thought to myself, what on earth have I been doing in my life that I haven't been spending it here? The rest, as they say, is history. But it's that beach right here. It used to be hotels, or a hotel anyway, and now it's condos. But Anguilla here off to the right. Most beautiful place on planet Earth. Alright. And to make the approach to Grand Cass, you aim right for the end of this beach right here. That's how the puddle jumpers do it. There's this little hill right here. And right at the beginning, I guess you would say, of that hill is this this beach right there, and that's where you aim for here. Alright, fuel pumps are on. I know I put flaps in, so the flap indicator is not working. Okay, that is still so. When you go full flaps, the flaps indicator goes from down to up, which can be disconcerting. But as you can see, we're just heading right for that end of that beach right here. This is where Mrs. ISP and I stayed, right about there, right in the waterfront. Princess Juliana off there to that side, and you just round it off. And I'm quite happy with 80 knots here. Still got 4 white. And Grand Casa is just a beautiful little place. It really is. There's 1 red. I'll start bringing in some power. We'll go mixtures and props full forward. Fuel pumps are on. Flaps are set. Seatbelts are secure. That is our pre-landing checklist complete. We got a left to right crosswind here, which means we want to get a little bit to the left side of that center line rather than trying to edge our way over the whole time. Let's get a little bit to the left side of the center line, and then, because if anything, you're going to get pushed to the right in the flare. You stay a little bit left the center line. 80 knots, we're looking good. Stay a little bit left the center line, bring some power out. Then you've got a little bit more room for error. When you fly like I do, you need all the room for error you can get. See this? See how we're just to the left? And anything, we just get pushed just a tiny bit to the right. And there is a terrible crosswind correction. but we did get the airplane down. So you want to air a little bit towards the side where the crosswind is coming from, which we managed to do. And there is Grand Casa. Beautiful little airport. And why not go to Anguilla? Why not go to Anguilla? Have you ever heard an argument for not going to Anguilla? I haven't. So we'll go to Anguilla. The other thing we're going to do is turn our transponder on. Why not? Why not comply with the law? Alright, so oopsie. So I have to say, thus far, I am quite happy with the Islander here in Flight Sim 24. Grand Casa, cool little airport, really cool little airport. These hills are a lot more imposing on either side of the field than they look in the sim. They are really quite tall and quite close into the field. But alright, we've got flaps set for takeoff. Fuel pumps are on. Let's check our trim. I can tell just by looking at it we need some. There we go. Tell just by looking at it we need some nose up trim. Alright, final approach course looks clear. Mixtures and props full forward. And again, we'll go with that left crosswind correction here. Remember, crosswind corrections is like being pregnant. You can't be a little pregnant. You don't put a little bit of crosswind correction in. You put a full crosswind correction in. And you can feed it out as you start picking up speed. The reason why you feed it out when it's picking up speed, engine instruments are in the green, airspeed is alive. The reason why you feed it out as you're picking up speed is because your ailerons are more effective as you get more air moving over them. Alright, your flight controls, that's how they work. That's looking mighty fine. Mighty fine. And they want you on climb out here to get straight out over these, you can see they don't want you turning, they want you to get straight out because you got all this over here, and then over here is all the kind of the beach community, so they want you straight out this way before you turn, and they want you to a rather vigorous climb. And this is a beautiful beach. It's just, it's very windy and very choppy, and but some cool little restaurants there. So here we are at 1,000 feet. 1,000 feet's gonna be good enough for me. We'll go flaps up. We'll go fuel pumps off. Fuel pressures are looking good. power back here a little bit. Props back, but not that much. Alright. Alright. So there we have it. Goodbye, Grand Cas. And let me see here. Yeah, no. That's the Australian thing, right? Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, yeah. Alright, so a little bit more trim here. And we're looking runway 11 here in Anguilla. I don't know if they've repainted it 11, but that's what it is nowadays. And the reason why runways change numbers is because the magnetic north changes. I forget how fast it's changing, but magnetic north is actually moving. And so every 10 years or so, they've got must be about a degree a year, because every 10 years or so they've got to change to runway numbers. So, I mean, Princess Juliana used to be runway 9, now it's runway 10 technically, but I think it's actually 11. You know, Miami. Excuse me for coughing. Miami runway 8, runway 08. The heading is actually 092. Okay. Really ought to get some paint out and clarify that as well. Alright, so here's the most beautiful place on planet Earth. Anguilla. We'll head over here. Bring it out this way a little bit. And come over here to sandy ground. Just there about our 2 o'clock. And we'll see if Muddy's Pride is around. It's the boat I love watching when I'm in Anguilla. Alright, we'll go a few pumps on here. There's 115 knots. And Muddy's Pride, right down there, I do believe. The green little green cargo ship. Alright, now the way you do this approach in Anguilla, you come right down. See, that's sandy ground. There's some great restaurants down there. But you come right down this road. You see this? You come right down this road right here. Is the proper way to get it done. See the flap indicator coming down, then it shoots to the top there. So let's get that back to 80 knots. Trim for airspeed, take one of the variables out. Alright, there's 80 knots. I'll trim that out. Alright, that's not what we want there. 1,000 foot per minute descent rate. There's one red light on the Pappies. And the difference between a Pappy and a Vazzy, the Pappies are 4 lights like this one. So you just come right down this road. Pappies are 4 lights. the precision approach path indicator, and the VASIs are 2 lights, a visual approach slope indicator. There you go. Alright, mixtures and props full forward, fuel pumps are on, flaps are set, seatbelts are secure. 80 knots. See, now that when you've got your airspeed nailed, then you can really control your descent rate nicely, and it just makes life a lot easier. I know if I need a little bit of power and a little bit of nose up just to slow myself down and arrest the descent rate. All good, all good, all good. There's 11 there, you can see on the numbers. And there's power out. A little bit of a visual hiccup there. To ruin my amazing crosswind landing, I will stay. Alright, let's lean the mixtures here. Lean the mixtures so you don't foul your spark plugs. Fouled spark plugs can cause engines to go suddenly quiet, which is very, very bad. So next up is to figure out if my Anguilla Air Services livery works on this sim, because the plane is working very, very nicely. It feels just like it did in, as a matter of fact, it feels better than it did in 2020 now that I think about it. The airspeed and the vertical speed are a lot, it's a lot easier to fine tune and control those two things in this sim, and I wish that stupid truck would get out of the way. It's kind of like exactly where I'd like to park right now. But I guess we'll just have a military truck in the middle of the taxiway. You'd figure after 4 years they could figure out how to get these things the heck out of the way, but clearly that's not the case. So we've got Anguilla Air Services, we've got Trans Anguilla, we've got Cape Air. These are all liveries you would see on the ramp here. And I guess just come over here. And we'll pull up. Alright. And toes on the brakes. Mixtures to idle. Cutoff throttles are idle. Let's set the parking brake. We'll turn the lights off. Open the window because it is blazing hot here in Anguilla. Two pumps are off. Flaps are up. Turn the mags off before you... Oh, no. You turn the avionics master off before you turn the mags off. I bummed that one up a little bit. Alright, lights are all off. Avionics master is off. We'll come down here and open up our doors. We'll come over here and we'll set the chocks and the boarding steps. And, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We are here at Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport, the father of Anguillan aviation. And looks beautiful. Looks really, really nice. See Saba off there in the distance. If there was one place on Earth I would like to be, it's right here. And anyway, so the sim is looking beautiful. 2024 is running very, very nicely with sim update 1 beta, and this is I believe version 1.13, I think. I don't know. But DLSS 4 and DLSS quality mode, I'll show you real quick what I'm running. Oh no, that was DLAA. I take it back. I'm a liar. Which is even more impressive because that means that the very nice performance for DLAA on with everything Ultra on a 3080 Ti. I'll just pause here for a second so you can see everything. Basically everything on Ultra and traffic, airport traffic. It must be the trucks in the middle of the road. Yeah, pretty much everything on Ultra, DLSS, DLAA. Great performance. As you guys just saw, looks fantastic, nice and crisp. Clouds are looking beautiful. So very, very good early returns here on DLSS 4 and the new Britten Norman Islander, now ready to go in Flight Sim 24. A couple little things to still square away with it, obviously with the flap indicator, but I'm sure that'll get changed very soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and talk to you guys soon.